Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about the 2018 to 2020 North Node in Cancer transit. And anyway, first thing up is as far as the upcoming North Node in Cancer transit, it's going to the North Node. I'm talking about the true node, so I want to elaborate on that. It will enter the zodiac sign Cancer on November 6, 2018, and it will stay there until May 5th, 2020. Now, it's going to be transitioning from extroverted, gregarious Leo into more introverted Cancer. This could be a time where many people may be directed toward more introversion, emotional security, even introspection, perhaps more safety and security. And this could be it could be going back to something from the last time the North Node may have been in Cancer. It could have been something Cancer related, such as home or some property or what have you. It could be a reclamation of something. In some cases, that could be Cancer related. It could be that long-awaited security and safety maybe one has desired for so long, and maybe finally, inevitably, it is attained. I think what you're going to see as far as making this transition, again, going from Leo into the zodiac sign Cancer, is that remember that Leo could be very domineering and authoritative energy. I think a lot of cases you might see people that have maybe gotten tired of even a domineering, say, a supervisor or somebody in command or some authority position, and they're going to go perhaps literally more time actually at home, doing things that they're at home with, and less time under some kind of very dominant personality that may be like an authority figure. And I think looking at this as well, this could be about going back to the renovation of a home or restoring even a fractured family in some cases. It could be a reconciliation with a family member. Many people that it may have had situations with a family member or family that was somewhat contentious, and it seemed like it was irreconcilable differences. This might be the opportunity to go back and try to mend fences, so to speak, and try to reconcile. The thing about this too is, when you're talking about it, could also be where maybe people may be working more on issues with criticism and ridicule, because the zodiac sign Cancer can be very sensitive to that, and that's the energy this could bring. But what I want to say though is that everyone collectively, may be impacted by this transit, but especially the zodiac sign Cancer, because of course the North Node is going to be in their sign. Now, the thing about this is, now as far as let's say, as far as the Sun in Cancer, this could be for people that have the Sun in Cancer, especially when this is actually making the transit's making a conjunction to your Sun in Cancer. This could be the really the destiny and future tied into the basic want of peace and quiet, safety and security and introversion, having that home and that family that you wanted. I'm hoping that, for me being a Sun in Cancer, I hope that basic want will be attained, as I've been somewhat peripatetic over many years and have not found really much stability in my home life, and I'm hoping that this transit may actually give me that, and give me maybe that reclamation of really that safety and security and stability in terms of a home situation. Now, if it's the moon, it's more about, like, say, if you have the moon in Cancer, this could be more of an emotional need that would be fulfilled in connection with what I stated before about the Sun in Cancer, basic ones, but only on the as far as emotional needs go, and also could be on an unconscious level. Now, if this is going to be, let's say, when this transit North Node in Cancer, let's say it actually goes into one's actual first house in one's natal chart, or if it can, especially if this conjuncts one's Cancer ascendant, this could be about issues with the physical body that may need to be confronted. It could be something with the stomach or the chest, the breast, And also just vitality and energy issues in general. Remember that Cancer is not exactly known, the zodiac sign Cancer is not exactly known for having a robust constitution anyway, and their vitality and energy level is generally not prodigious. So this is something to look at if you have a Cancer ascendant. So anyway, going back to as far as how this could impact someone collectively. Now, I mean, how the people collectively out there, this could be something where you may feel there might be a need to confront a person that you may see as overly temperamental, moody, fickle, emotional, excessively sensitive to criticism, somebody that might be overly introverted, and a person that might be overly clingy, perhaps independent, somebody that might be just brooding or lamenting too much over the past hurts, perhaps. And this could be a time where you feel that this is the time to confront perhaps those perhaps issues connected with that. Now, many may be going back to their home, their roots. People, I mean, may be directed towards something Cancer related, such as home renovation, remodeling. It could be cooking, working as a home caregiver. It could be laundry work, something connected with nurturing and healing. It could be doing things, working as like a historian, something with nostalgia. And this is where the future may strongly be tied in for many, connected with safety and security reasons. I mean, say if this is like somebody's having this transit in their 8th house in their natal chart, it could be about getting some kind of really strong homeowner's insurance, perhaps. And if it's in the 4th, it could be getting that strong safety and security in one's home, such as getting like a Wi-Fi doorbell and having all sophisticated alarm systems hooked up. This is also what I want to talk about too is the fact that when you have the North Node in Cancer, of course the South Node is in Capricorn. So this could be where many people may be going away from very callous, cold, undemonstrative behavior and being really more, exhibiting more sympathetic, nurturing energy. It could be more of that need to rescue and save others, perhaps. It could be rescuing others in terms of extricating them from negative or adverse situations. And this could be about being driven more, say, toward protective energy as opposed to self-protective Capricorn energy, and the home life perhaps being taking more precedence over one's career. And the thing about this too is, and this is also again another thing as far as going away from the South Node energy. This could be, I mean, Capricorn's energy could be very tough, but an energy that might seem somewhat impervious to feeling hurt, getting the feelings hurt. But I think when you have this North Node in Cancer, this could be a time where many people will actually be able to show their vulnerability and sensitivity and not see this as a weakness, not have the reluctance to show this. Now, the thing about this too is, now, the thing about this energy is that, again, it could be that strong need to rescue others and save others as far as this North Node in Cancer transit goes. And the thing about this too, it's also, of course, it's important to look at the house that this transits, that this traverses in one's natal chart, is this could impact the delineation and interpretation. Now, mine is going to fall in my 3rd house for most of the transit. Now, perhaps this suggests I may be going back to what I called home, taking that nostalgic short journey. It could be back to contemplation regarding things from my early education and communications and perhaps nurturing them. And the thing about this too, as far as this transit goes and how this might impact me personally, this the South Node in Capricorn will leave my 9th house on November 11th, 2019. I know it's a little bit of a ways from now. But At this time, this may signify an ending over an overly pessimistic, negative philosophical outlook. And with the North Node entering my second house at that time, this could be being directed toward the future, toward nurturing really energy and tenacious contemplative energy connected with finances. And it's going to conjunct my sun in Cancer, so there could be this could be more focus on this and more concentration of energy and focus and attention on this. But at the same time, I may have to confront some issues with vitality and energy as well. Hold on a minute, people. Sorry about that, I'm back. Now also, it's important to look at the aspects this makes to astrological points in your natal chart, as this could impact the interpretation delineation. Now, in my case, it's going to, this transit North Node in Cancer, it's going to make a sextile to my ascendant, the exact aspect sextile, on April 10th, 2019. Now, shortly before or after this or at this time, this could be very auspicious for me for being more receptive toward receiving moral, emotional support and sympathetic energy from others, because the zodiac sign Cancer is about giving sympathy, and Taurus rising, of course, can be moved readily by this, so I'll be probably more in a better position to receive this at this time. And this could be a very good blending of working methodically and deliberately, which of course is the Taurus ascendant, and on future home plans, which could be connected, of course, with the North Node in Cancer. And we're talking about, since the ascendant is involved in this aspect, it could be that the physical body, in my case, will be able to handle this with a lot of latent Taurus rising energy, and doing so in a very calm and composed and placid Taurus manner. So, and also another thing too is I have a prominent family member, and she's going to have this transit North Node conjunct her first house. I mean, it's going to be right when it's already conjunct, in Leo, but she has a late Cancer rising, 29 degrees. So when this hits Cancer, it will be conjunct her ascendant. And at that time, she's also going to have the transit Mars in Aquarius, I believe, in her 8th house, in conjunct the ascendant shortly thereafter. So this is obviously the transit North Node conjunct the first house, of course, could be issues that have to be confronted with the physical body. And of course, that could be something with the chest, breast area, the stomach area, for being that's the zodiac sign Cancer, and having the Mars in Aquarius, making the inconjunct, of course, from the 8th house likely. This could also be about some surgery that might come about, that could be very spontaneous and extemporaneous, something that comes about unpredictably. So hopefully she'll get out of this fairly unscathed, but that is a critical time as far as her chart goes. And of course, the Mars in Aquarius could also be the fact that it's in conjunct, I believe, from the 8th house. It will be it could be something surgical procedure and something Aquarius related, such as something with the ankles or shins. So anyway, but I think at this time too, really the fact that you're going to have at this time, there's some other transits that are interesting. There's one that's happening right in the same general close proximity to this this North Node in Cancer transit when it starts, because on November 7th, 2018, we're going to have a new moon in Scorpio. So when I'm looking at this, this combined with the North Node just entering the zodiac sign Cancer may signify a beginning period of digging deep, perhaps into family ancestry and roots for many, and going beyond superficiality and even subterfuge, perhaps to solve a family mystery that might have confounded people for some time. Perhaps it could be a restart, so to speak, considering the North Node will be retro, but also, Jupiter will enter will enter Sagittarius. Another thing too is that Jupiter will enter Sagittarius on November 8th, 2018. And it's going to make a close trine to the North Node in Cancer at this time. Now, this could be auspicious for many for starting a home life, perhaps in a foreign country. If people have been contemplating about this for some time and debating over, well, should I take this chance? I've never been out of the country. Is this the time to perhaps do it? Well, it could be very auspicious for that. And considering Jupiter is going to be in its dignity, it's going to be in the zodiac sign Sagittarius. That could be another reason that could accentuate maybe that possibility, increase that propensity for doing that. And given that, I mean, you're talking about Jupiter again in its dignity in Sagittarius at this time, in the sign that, of course, is associated with foreign travel. Now, and another thing too, and it could be a reconciliation for some, maybe, or going into a foreign country where a family member may reside, or maybe somebody that you just haven't seen in a long time that is a family member that is located in a foreign country. Now, another thing too is that it's going to, right when this North Node enters the zodiac sign Cancer, it's going to make a square to Uranus and Aries pretty much right at the outset. So for some, it could be going back to unusual combative situations with others, may conflict with one attaining safety and security in terms of their future, and whether it could be in their home life or what have you. Now, well, another a point where we're going to have an interesting aspect that's made from this involving the North Node in Cancer. It's going to be on April 30th, 2019. We're going to have an exact opposition between the North Node in Cancer and Saturn in Capricorn. Now, at this time, one way I think this may manifest, it could be a proliferation of government restrictions that may oppose things that perhaps homeowners want to do, or where they feel that homeowners will feel that their future is at. In terms of maybe buying, or I should say maybe buying a home or another home, or whatever it is they may be doing. Another thing is we're going to have the Pluto will make an exact opposition to the North Node on April 4th, 2019. Now, it could be shortly before or after this point. It could be, in some cases, this could be about terrorism, may oppose other safety and security, perhaps more so than ever. I mean, I understand it's doing that now for a lot of people in various locations, but I think this might be even more intensified. And you may also have something where there might be the power in the government as well, may somehow be may opposing maybe some issues with safety and security for others as well. And another thing too is we're going to have another part of this transit I think is interesting, another stage of it, is that on December 6, 2018, the transit, of course, as I stated before, as you know, when we have the transit North Node in Cancer, we have the transit South Node in Capricorn. On December 6, 2018, the transit South Node in Capricorn will be making a separating conjunction aspect from the Pluto in Capricorn in the second house of the United States of America's natal chart. And I'm using the chart for that has Sagittarius rising. Now, could this suggest or signify that the United States of America may be going away from nuclear spending, at least to some degree? Could it be also maybe could be going away from government control over spending money, maybe a little bit, or I mean, I wouldn't expect that, maybe to go away or be eradicated completely, but maybe to some degree. Maybe the government won't have as much control as what's being spent, maybe perhaps by Americans as maybe they do right now, whatever control that may be. And also, this could be going away perhaps from fixated obsessive energy, perhaps collectively for Americans, over money and possessions. And the thing about this is you're going to have the North Node in Cancer. In the United States of America's chart, transit North Node in Cancer will be in the 8th house. So many may be more directed toward more sympathetically willing to share resources with others, as opposed to what the opposite would be with the transit North-South Node in Capricorn in the 2nd, as opposed to maybe being having a very callous and cold nature regarding one's own possessions and resources. And again, I'm using the Sagittarius ascendant chart. So anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. For my take on the upcoming North Node in the zodiac sign Cancer transit. And stay tuned next time, where I'm going to be giving you part 2 of the 2018 to 2020 North Node in Cancer transit. In that segment, I'm going to be talking about the transit's possible impact on the zodiac signs Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, and Virgo. 2 things I want to get with you on before I head out. Firstly, the stars may impel but do not compel. And secondly, never isolate any single astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, configuration, influence, or what have you, and make an analysis of a person, astrologically speaking, based on this alone, because astrologically speaking, the person is the sum of all their components in their natal chart and not just one. Until next time, people, stay well.